Here at Instantly, we've empowered over 10,000 businesses to launch cold email campaigns, and this has generated more than 1.2 million opportunities for those businesses. And after looking through all of this data, we've identified a critical strategy used by the top 1%. It's a tactic that boosts their ability to book sales more than everyone else. Now, we realized that they did this one thing 5 times more than every other business, and 99% of businesses are neglecting this part of their cold email campaign, and it's costing them hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year. So if you don't fix this mistake, your cold email campaigns will get stuck where they are not producing the level of sales your business wants or needs. What happens when someone gets a cold email? They're probably working 9 to 5, drowned in emails and in work and stress. Maybe they only check their email once a week, or they might skim through your initial email and forget it right away. This means that one email is often not enough to get your prospect's attention. I want you to think about emails kind of like a bullet. You want to get it in front of your customers as much as possible. You really got to ensure that your emails are tailored to the recipient's industry, to their interests, to their current challenges, or maybe their goals. This will increase your relevance and engagement, but also your frequency and timing. They establish a strategic cadence. They establish a way for you to keep on top of their mind without overwhelming them. So you have to put a lot of thought into this. You got to consider their time zone, their typical work hours. When do they eat lunch? When do they go on break? These are things you can figure out. It will really help you with that precision to become a sniper rather than spraying and praying. The thing is, though, is there's a fine line between becoming a spammer and actually bringing value. This is where I see a lot of people struggling, that 99%. Their value proposition isn't clear. They struggle to clearly articulate what they have to offer. Learning how to clearly articulate what's in for the prospect within the first few seconds of them reading your email, making it all about them, offering insights for them on how they can solve their pain, or offering free resources or solutions to problems they might be facing. This is a huge deal. The more you make it about them, the more precise you get and understanding what's going on their side, the better. And that pairs really well with the fact that personalization is best used when you actually have research done. Maybe it's a data point of news, or maybe it's an industry issue that's going on right now. You need to show that you've done your homework and use specific details about their business or recent achievements to demonstrate that you actually know who they are, what's going on, and what they're facing. The other part too, though, that I see people struggling with when it comes to precision is not being open to feedback. And what I mean by that is maybe you're getting a lot of rejection emails, people saying your email's not relevant to them, or you need to refine your approach, or maybe they're mad at you. Sometimes that negative feedback is an indication to you that you need to adjust your targeting, adjust your sequences, adjust your value proposition. Being open to feedback and adapting is a huge part of becoming that sniper, really being able to precisely hit your target. So here's the thing. This is where people make the biggest mistake. You are not following up enough. Following up is key. This is where the money is at. It's in the follow-up. I was talking to a guy running an agency, and he was blasting out thousands of emails only once to his recipients, and he was wondering why they weren't performing as well as he wanted to. This is why follow-up is king, but you have to do it with persistence and thoughtfulness. That's why thinking about when the person is at work, when they're going to lunch, really getting in their thoughts. If you're following up every 10 minutes for 7 days straight, that's not going to work. But statistically, if you follow up more and more, like 3 to 5 times at least, the percentage of sales that you're going to make and convert will increase. This is absolutely something you need to implement. Part of following up with people is it builds familiarity. With each follow-up, people recognize your name and your brand more, and it starts to kind of get your foot in the door, especially if your follow-up emails bring value and show how you can help them solve their problem. The more your follow-ups make it about them than about yourself, the better. The other thing I want you to think about is each follow-up is an opportunity for you to refine your message based on your previous interactions. Maybe in the first one, you're just pushing a pain point. In the next one, you can show how you've helped other people, or you can show a video to them. The more targeted and relevant and thoughtful your follow-ups are, the better, because this will help you demonstrate to the individual how you can help them achieve what they want or solve the pains that they're struggling with. The thing is you just want to get in front of your ideal customers, like in their inbox, as many times as possible to increase increase your chances of catching them. And at some point, your solution will match with their pains. There are things you need to consider, like your timing. You need to determine when the optimal time is for your follow-ups. Is it 2 days apart? Is it 3 days apart? Is it 1? Is it 10 minutes? You really got to think about this and be creative. You got to look at previous engagement data. You have to look at your past campaigns and see what is and is not working. Maybe you need to reach out to people on weekend because your target niche works on the weekends. Maybe you need to reach out to people only on Tuesday and Thursday because those are the days when you see the highest response rates. You also need to consider your follow-ups are continuing to add value and solutions to their pains or to their desires. Rather than just repeating your initial message, you got to continue to build and escalate the proposition you're offering them. Another thing you can consider when crafting your follow-ups is gradually increasing the level of commitment you're requesting. Maybe you can start off with just, hey, check out this blog post, or hey, here's a link to a case study. And then the next email you're asked, could we jump on a call, or can I give you a demo? You need to ease yourself in and see what's working with your niche. Here are a few things to consider. First, personalize each interaction. And this is why understanding who you're reaching out to is so important, because beyond just using their name or their business name or their title, personalize your follow-ups based upon any interactions they've had. So like maybe you looked at their achievements on their website or their LinkedIn, mention specific details that show that you actually understand who they are and that you're actually trying to help them achieve what they want. The second thing is you need to offer value in every email. Once again, this could be an insightful article, a relevant case study, an invitation to a webinar. It really depends on your industry and your niche, but you really want to address that you're capable of helping them achieve what they want or helping them solve the problems that they're facing. The last thing here is you need to be concise and to the point. Don't waste the person's time. It's important to respect your prospect, all while trying to help them and sell your product. You need to really take this into consideration by keeping your follow-ups brief and focused, articulate. When you're wondering how many follow-ups you should do, 3 to 5 is a standard practice where I think you should start off and adjust as you move forward. Also, use engagement cues. What I mean by this is maybe people are always responding to your third email. It's telling you, oh, this third email is where people start to recognize what I'm having to offer them. The other thing to consider is the industry and the context. Some industries may need to be more repetitive. Some industries you might have to do 7 emails. Some only need to do 3. It really depends. And so you really have to take into consideration the industry you're working in and tailor your strategy accordingly. That's how you do it. You're probably asking, like, how do I do this properly? I only like sending 1 email. I'm scared to send 5 emails. Your timing is key. Space your follow-ups strategically so that you can start with, let's say, 2 days in between your initial emails and then gradually play with that. Maybe do 1 day in between or 3 days in between. It depends on holidays, weekends. Another thing is always end on a positive note. So if you decide to end a follow-up sequence without any responses, do a final email and have fun with it. Don't take it personally if people aren't responding. Figure out how you can adjust and overcome on your end. If you're just starting out with doing reply sequences, track and analyze your responses. Use the data within our platform to monitor what's going on. We break it down so simply so you can adjust your strategy and see what is and isn't working and continue to A/B test and figure out what's going on and figure out what's going to work for you. Really look at the data and take that into consideration as direct feedback for you from your recipients. If people aren't responding, that means your call to action and your value proposition probably aren't good. So you need to work on that. Or maybe your targeting's not right. Or maybe you're not reaching out at the right time of the day. Look at the data and try to adjust as you move forward. This is how people succeed with cold email. And this is exactly how you need to follow up, just like the top 1% of businesses. By the way, the software that I use to create campaigns is called Instantly.ai. You can check out a link in the description to try out this best software for automating your cold email campaigns. Also, click on this video to learn how to use Instantly.ai to land more clients for your business, and I'll see you in the next one.